but there's still something to having a reliable back you can count on in the red zone to bring things home for you. And that's what he's been doing all season long.
On is Mason Crosby for the point after. And it's good to make it 7-0 Packers. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. So already not the best of kick returns there, but that penalty, that adds insult to injury and backs him up even closer to the goal line.
Yeah, not ideal field position to begin a drive, is it? Because the extra pressure now goes on the offense. They've got to get some early yards and get away from the shadow of their own goalposts. What every offense wants to do in this situation, get 2 first downs to help out with field position at the least.
Tannehill going to turn and give this to Henry. And he'll take this one up to about the 13. Tackle made by Devondre Campbell.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Again, it's Henry. And a very short pickup there across the 15 to the 16. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Tannehill on 3rd down. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 12-yard line. So that'll go as a 4-yard loss on the play. And it'll be 4th down.
Well, Brandon, we could see that play developing, and they were hoping that he was going to be able to put a move on the first guy and turn it into a big play. But no such luck. The speed on defense continues to get better and better in the NFL. Pretty nice example there of those guys being able to run from their assignments and finish off that play.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. So a solid punt, but also a nice return there of 14 yards. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they come into this one off the loss over the weekend. But you say if you're going to play a Thursday night game, this is the week to do it.
It certainly is, because you get right back out there. You don't have time to dwell on things. And look, your game plan is going to be a little more limited, but so is theirs. So that's when you just appeal to your top players. Guys, you make plays in this one, we out-execute them, we can walk away with a win.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. And he's up over midfield and down into Tennessee territory. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. On play action, now Rodgers. Pressure comes, and the Titans able to bring him down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. So on 4th down, on is the punter Pat O'Donnell to kick it away. Back deep, Jakeem Grant. Oh, it's a wobbler here. It'll go as just a 15-yard punt, and it'll be Titan football. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. They are currently mired in a losing streak. Now they get the short week for the Thursday night game. Do you see that as a potential positive, or is this just more in what has been really a string of bad luck for them?
Well, to me, it comes down to leadership, and leadership's got to spin it into a positive and make it an advantage for them. Yes, we're in a losing streak. Yes, no one thinks we can win, but we have the resources we need right here in this room. Let's go ahead and play better. Let's hang together and shock the world a little bit. Put it all together, they've got a chance of coming out with a W.
And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Henry again on second down. Room here to run. And that one opened up for him well as he'll take this down to the 26-yard line. That one good for a pickup of 15 for Tennessee. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And the Packers are going to take possession here at their own 3-yard line.
But to me, it's pretty simple, and it's fairly obvious, isn't it? He's got to start making better decisions with the ball.
That's now 2 interceptions in the first quarter. After interception number 1, there was a long talk on the sideline. And now he's made another mistake.
Yeah, he's just been kind of laying these passes out there. He's kind of been floating them a little bit. He's got to be more decisive in his reads and definitely more decisive in throwing the ball. Rifle it in there every now and then.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Back near the goal line. Here's Rodgers. Throw complete to the tight end, Tunyon. Thanks to that last play, a little more room to operate. 1st and 10 at the 18. Now a play fake. Rodgers on the move to his left. He rifles one that's intercepted. And the Titans are going to take possession of the football. They're trying to rescue. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way. And the head coach turned to the offense coordinator and said, he's yours from now on. Someone has to take responsibility and work with him and try and get him settled.
Play fake, Mills. And it's caught by Hooper. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Now they'll have it 1st and goal following that gain of 17.
How about the way they're moving the ball down the field? They had a big play a moment ago. Followed it up with another nice one here. And before you know it, they're already looking at 1st and goal.
They'll try to run it in, going option right. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. On 2nd down, here's Henry. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Only a couple yards there, and that's going to set up a long 3rd and goal.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness. Think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
3rd and goal, Mills. And it's caught over the middle, Hooper. That pass play good for 7, but it still brings up a 4th and goal.
I thought they might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender. But a really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a 4th down.
So put 3 on the board. A little bit of a hook on the driver that time. Looked a little bit like you, Charles, over on the 8th at Windermere.
You know me too well, partner, except that he got his to hit a tree and kick back into the fairway.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line.
As the offense comes out here, Charles, maybe perhaps a bit more of a focus on the run game for this drive after tossing an interception on the previous one?
I think that's a good way to look at it and a good way to think about it, but maybe they get to it in a little bit different way, because after you throw an interception, you want to make sure you keep your quarterback's confidence high. So maybe give him a couple easy throws that he can complete, and then get to the running game and try and get things settled down.
Yeah, and still in the first half here, a long way to go.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage.
On play action, Rodgers. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked by Kevin Byard.
And the Titans are going to get possession of the football as time will run out on this first quarter of play. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. On the counter, it's Henry. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. 2nd down coming up.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Now Mills.
And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Jaron Reed muscles his way in for the sack.
Tell you what, he did not have much time there to scan the field before he was ducking and covering.
Did it appear to you, as it did to me, that the defensive front won their play really quickly? Meaning the guys in front of them had almost no chance to block him. They were on him in a hurry.
Not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Throwing into traffic there, and that's complete.
And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
There's another example what defensive coaches constantly preach, not allowing any run after the catch. They gave up a few more yards than they wanted to, but they were able to get him down quickly and force a 4th down.
Now Mills on the sneak.
And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. They only needed a few inches, and they didn't get much more than that, but by about the width of a shoelace, they convert on 4th down. A first down carry for Henry.
And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. 2nd down.
They suspected that it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on 1st down.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Mills now.
They set up the screen for Henry.
And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play.
Well, sometimes that option can get bogged down before the gears really even get into motion, and I think that's what we saw there.
And I think what he saw defensive end right in his face because he looked up and he was right there. Didn't even have a chance to.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Jair Alexander.
And the Packers are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20.
Well, this is just crazy. He's got 3 interceptions, Charles, and we haven't even departed the first half of this ball game.
I think if you're looking at the stats right now, you're saying, all right, who's the leading receiver? Well, can you flip it around and say that maybe he is and could be for the game the way that things are going right now? I think if it's him, he wants to be on the field at all times.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. To throw, it's Rodgers. Setting up the screen here, Aaron Jones.
And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Rodgers.
Throwing left side, and Watson has it. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43. The Packers at 6-4 now on the year. Now, they were losers last time out, trying to turn things around here in this one.
And it always helps to have a home crowd behind you, giving you encouragement as long as you give them something good to cheer about. So you know they just want to come out and play well for their faithful, and I expect them to do just that.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Well, they certainly did a nice job there, picking him up out of the backfield and then running stride for stride with him. That's good coverage, and it led to an incompletion.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Rodgers. And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time.
It's Roger McCreary with a pick.
And now the rookie's free. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Well, this secondary just continues to be a force. Multiple interceptions in this game, and now the pick 6.
And the thing about it is once you get an interception as a unit, you think to yourself, okay, we got that. How do we increase it the next time? Get the interception, do a little more damage, and there's your outcome right there. Take it to the house and break down what they're trying to do offensively.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away.
Fielded just outside the goal line.
Now a hit and a loose football. It's picked up by the Titans. And they are going to bring this one back. A fumble return touchdown for the Titans. So problems here on special teams, and it results in the scoop and the score.
They talk all the time on special teams about keeping your head on a swivel, trying to see the whole field. Hard to do when things are going that fast, bodies all over the place. You're just trying to find the right guy to align yourself with. On that play, wow.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return.
This will be fielded inside the 5. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Throwing again on second down. Rodgers. And for the fourth time tonight, it's an interception.
Picked off by Christian Fulton. And the Titans are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line. Well, CD, you know, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think... in the other uniform with 4 interceptions here in the first half, and several different guys have picked him off.
Yeah, and instead of analyzing what's going wrong with him throwing the football, while we look at the defense, they came in prepared, had excellent game plan, well scouted, and they're taking it away at almost every turn.
They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. Kenny Clark, the big D tackle there to make the stop. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Off the play fake, Mills. Pass complete on the crossing route. This is Hooper. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
But give them credit for a good read right there, because they read the man coverage on the right side and sent the tight end a few steps down the field and then angled him to the left on a crossing route. And he was able to get enough separation on this play to turn it into a nice gain.
He's been a one-man wrecking crew these last couple of plays. This time 18 more and a first down. 10th carry now for Derrick Henry. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage back at the 17. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
On 2nd and 11 now.
Mills. Out route, and this is Henry with a catch.
Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, here's Mills.
Touchdown! Robert Woods, as the first half is winding down.
And the Titans will extend their lead here just before halftime.
They have really had their way so far in the first half, but they wanted to continue to build on their lead. They know that no lead is safe in this league, so they decided to try their best to get one more as they headed into the half, and they got it done.
Bullock good on the extra point, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line.
And with only 9 seconds remaining, with not much time, we'll see how they play this.
And now here's another interception.
Picked up by Amani Hooker. And the Titans are going to take possession of the football.
I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me, because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ballgame, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
That incompletion certainly slows things down a little bit and brings up a very important call for 2nd and long. What do? Run and try and get some yardage and make it 3rd and manageable? Or challenge the coverage again, hoping for a bigger gain?
And now the half not quite over yet. This is a live football on the miss. He's past the 30. And he is finally going to be taken down. Boy, that could have been a really late swing here, but the attempt to return the field goal snuffed out. And that'll do it for this first half.
And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The Packers set to get the football first, and they are trailing on the scoreboard as we resume action, ready for the third quarter.
Take it in at the 3. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Well, they look up at the scoreboard facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need something, though, out of this drive, at least 3 points.
Are you trying to say that there's no 3-score drive on that play sheet for any of those coordinators? They just don't have it, right? You're trying to get it all back. You know you can't get it back in one drive. But maybe cut into it a little bit as you just suggested. Try and create a little bit of momentum, a little bit of a spark, and then maybe that'll carry over.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers.
This one swung out here to Jones. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line. Now 2nd and 8 at the 32-yard line.
Here's Rodgers. He'll find Jones again, complete.
And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line. And that last throw right there putting him already over 3,000 passing yards now for the campaign.
And given where we are in the season, Brandon, you have to think to yourself, if he stays healthy, I think 4,000's a given. I think 5,000 is not out of the question if he stays hot.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Again, it's Jones. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Another modest gain there on that one. And I think, Charles, you can probably pin part of the deficit on a failure on their part to really get this ground game established.
Yeah, and they've really struggled to be multidimensional in this one, haven't they, partner? Because they have to be extremely one-dimensional now if they hope to get back into this game. They'll have to do it by throwing the football and hope to have success through the air.
2nd down, ball on the 3. First down marker at the 1-yard line. Rodgers going to give this one to Dillon.
And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. run for the first with Dillon. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Rodgers to throw for it on 4th. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Packers unable to pick up the first. And it'll be a turnover on downs. Well, that's another mistake there on the drop pass on 4th, and we've seen them do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Looking to throw is Mills. That's complete to Treylon Burks. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 20. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace it.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Quay Walker came through to make the sack.
Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down.
On 3rd down, Henry. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and the Packers pick it up. And he'll take this back down inside the 20.
Well, number 1 on the list of things not to do when you're up 3 scores in the 3rd. That right there, give the football away.
I love when you speak like that. You know how doctors talk about taking the Hippocratic Oath, first do no harm? You just did the football-cratic one right there. Don't give the ball away when you have a lead that you can lock this game down with.
Now after the fumble recovery, it's Rodgers. He's got to hook up to Lazard.
And the Packers are going to have a 1st and goal as he'll be taken down at the 7-yard line.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
Now Jones. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
Not a whole lot there on 1st and goal, and that's what you're looking for defensively. You'll certainly live with giving up just a yard or 2 in this situation.
On 2nd and goal, Rodgers in trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. It'll definitely be a disappointment to come out of this starting position with just 3 points. They need to try to dial something up now, 3rd and 10. Throwing now is Rodgers. And it'll be intercepted. Picked by Kevin Byard.
And the Titans are going to take possession here at their own 6-yard line. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, They've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
They'll start out here with the option left. And they'll hit him for a loss as he's back to his 2-yard line. Devondre Campbell, the one who fought his way in there to make the play.
Well, that play never really got off the launching pad. He had a linebacker in his face before he had a chance to do much of anything.
Yeah, I think it's big boys up front, that offensive line. They've got to do a little bit better job of protecting him if they're going to continue to run the option like this.
One quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
So still 14 yards to go, second down.
Henry up the middle. And a nice pickup as this one gets him to the 10-yard line.
46 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
On a second and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on third down.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Green.
And he's able to break out of one tackle, but then quickly brought down.
Only able to gain a couple there, and that's going to make it fourth down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there, and they rallied and made the tackle.
Here's Ryan Stonehouse now.
Standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch.
Now look out, Rodgers lost the football, but it looked like a Packer. Yeah, a Packer was able to get this back, and they'll indeed keep possession. On third and long, it's Rodgers. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Now Rodgers. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. It's picked up by the Titans. The big fella. 30. The 20. 10, 5, and they're going to bring this one back. A fumble return touchdown for the Titans. Second time he's lost a fumble. This one hurts more. It's returned for 6.
He's been under a lot of duress, hasn't he? Pressured, hurried, harassed the whole game.
Well, the offensive line not giving him a lot of help.
Not a lot of help, but the bottom line, he's got to take care of the football.
Now Bullock to add the extra point. And the lead is now 24. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a first down. Working from the gun, Rodgers. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Amani Hooker. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Well, what has been a fantastic game for this defense has been rough for this offense, and certainly a signal caller, Charles, that's thrown all these interceptions. Another one there, and this one taken all the way back for the score.
Partner hoping they're holding a nice little spot in the post-game highlights to show this rip of interceptions and great plays this group has made. They've been on it from snap one.
Extra point up and good by Bullock. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line.
And you can sort of sense their dejection. That last pick six put the icing on the cake, so to speak, in what has been a rough go for them.
They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Rodgers, and the Titan defense steps up here, and down he goes. Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. Shotgun now for Rodgers.
Throw right side, hauled in by Dobbs.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. So the line of scrimmage all the way up to midfield now as they've got it 1st and 10. From midfield, here's Rodgers.
And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw is Rodgers. And now here is another interception. There he goes left side. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Well, this one was already ugly, and now it's just kind of becoming a feast on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, partner, this is a unit that knows they've got this game in the bag with this huge lead, and it's going to drive their coaches crazy because they're telling them play it straight, do all the right things, but these guys are going to be freewheeling now. All of them are going to take chances, and that one pays off with an INT and a return for 6.
Here's Bullock now for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Even though they were able to force the punt defensively, still a big hole to climb out of, especially at this late stage of the contest. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. At the 23, it's 2nd and 12. Now a play fake. Rodgers. He hits Dobbs on the crosser. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. It's a gain of 35. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. Rodgers now on first down.
On this one, incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. And again, it's Rodgers. And my goodness, another interception. Picked by Kevin Byard.
And the Titans force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. But with this advantage, this defense knew that passes were coming, and they stayed in position, Charles, and picked one off here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, what a way to cap things off, huh? Because I think this is part of the game within the game. They see the scoreboard, they see what they can accomplish, and they went for it.
His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
Historically, this is such a tough, loud venue, but you can hear a pin drop right now. A lot of fans long gone, not used to seeing a lopsided score like this. Just a little too lackadaisical, Charles, and they didn't get up and snap the ball in time. Delay of game.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if he understood where the clock was located. In different stadiums, it's in different places. You have to check that in pregame and make sure you're aware so you don't run into penalties like these.
And now after the delay of game, they're operating behind the sticks, 2nd and 15. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Let's go. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. And the busy night for Henry continues. And he'll be out right at the 35. They'll get 11, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. They had quite a hole to dig out of there on 3rd and long. Not able to get the first, but a pretty good size run.
A really good run. But how much confidence do you have in your next play call that you can sell to the head coach? Let's go get it on 4th down. Do you really have a play you believe in? Or are you just hopeful? And you got to sell it to the big man before it gets called.
51 yards on the punt there. And the Packer drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line.
Well, CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is in the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, and with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on when you get back to practice in the next couple of days.
Rodgers' throw finds its target, Dobbs.
And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards.
Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
The left side completion to Jones.
And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
Now the Packers going to burn their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go in the football game. Throwing is Rodgers on third down. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem.
And this is caught. Well, they get one back, picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team. But I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Rodgers will throw for it. And it's intercepted at the goal line.
It's interesting that when it comes to two-point conversions, even heavy run teams tend to throw the ball in these situations. In this case, this one was intercepted.
Yeah, they weren't fooled. They were ready for the pass, picked it off. And the Titans are going to recover the football. And they will elect to decline the penalty.
Everything turned out the way they wanted it to. No sense in even having to take that one. Decline.